working. Finally. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. 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 Oh, it's working. It's going live. Okay. First coaches show, UFL Cowboys. Disconnected from the chat, so I really can't see the chat, but just want to kind of start off the first show here with how the Cowboys are doing in the UFL. If you don't know about the UFL, UFL's been around for 17 seasons. This is our 17th season after probably a couple of restarts with a rough Madden patch, but we're going pretty well. Just kind of wanted to do overall weekly recap of what's going on with the Cowboys and the NFC and the UFL in general. So if you're here tuning in, I can't really see the chat right now because it's disconnected. It's kind of acting funny tonight, but just kind of wanted to give a rundown of how we're doing, what we're thinking, how everything's going, and what our plans are. We've had a rough time. Madden 25 never made the playoffs. Madden 13 made playoffs twice. So out of the 17 season, I think I've played in 13 of the seasons. Definitely not one of the better players, but I'm trying my best. So as you can, we're just gonna look at the NFC East here. You can see the Giants and Cowboys have already played 5 games. Redskins and Eagles haven't played this week. Giants are sitting pretty strong at 4-1. Redskins 3-1. Cowboys 3-2, and then the Eagles 2-2. If we go look at the schedule, we'll take a look at the Giants first, since they're leading the division. They came out and they lost to the Lions. Q-Blade, surprising loss there, 42-21. Giants couldn't get anything going, it seems. Then the Giants seemed to have found their stride against the Cardinals. They came back 41-13. Then they took on the Texans and more dominance, 38-0. I just played the Texans this week. That's it's a pretty big statement to put 38 points. I struggled against them really bad. And then the all-time division rival. These guys have played so many times, and it's always a back-and-forth battle. He pulled out an important 20-17 win on the Redskins. And then this week, Master Keys, one of the better players in the UFL, Ryan comes out and wins 34-14. So the Giants started off slow, and they have found their space. They've got 2 road games coming up, the Eagles and the Cowboys. So it should be interesting to see how it goes. Let's take a look at the Eagles. All right, here's the Eagles. They won against the Jaguars in 19-13 back when the pretty big game there for Lewis is one of the new players, but he's definitely strong at the Jaguars. And then takes on the Colts, another pretty good player, 13-10, close battle. And then division rival Mac Diesel he's a tough player, 23-17, so close game, 6-point win. And then the 49er loss, that was a little surprising. I thought it'd be closer. I think he got down early and struggled a bit. This week he plays the Rams, and the Rams are definitely one of the best teams. And he's got the Giants coming up, and then probably a much-needed bye. So a lot to be decided. A few NFC East games coming up in the future. Let's take a look at the Redskins real quick. So the Redskins, kind of the opposite of the Giants. They started off hot, and then they took a loss to the Giants, matter of fact. But they played the Texans. New owner, just played him myself. It was an insanely tough battle. 27-14. Texans didn't come out ahead. I think they lost Andre Johnson in that game, which has kind of hurt them in other games. And then the Jaguars, Redskins beat them 31-15. Then important division win. Back-to-back division games is always tough. So he's lost that one 20-17. He's got the Seahawks coming up. Eon is an awesome player. And then the new Cardinals owner as well. And Titans, and then finally gets to see the Cowboys. So that's kind of how the division's done so far. Let's take a look at my Cowboys and see how we've done. We kind of live by and die by Tony Romo, but played the 49ers in week 1, and amazingly we held them to 15-7. And you can see here, offensive yards gained. They outgained us, had more rushing yards, had more passing yards, had more first downs. Turnovers is what really saved us. So they had 5 turnovers. Without those, it would have been a much different game. Time of possession, pretty easy. The story here is the turnovers. And you can look at the player stats. Romo and Kaepernick both had pretty much terrible, but those 4 interceptions by Kaepernick really changed the game and been a much different story. Cowboys probably could have got beaten by 21 points. Rushing, we feel like we got a good rushing game, but Murray didn't have a very good game. 2.7 yards a carry. We never gave up on it, though, so probably saved us from having a few more interceptions, and we would have lost. Chris Johnson, always tough. We held him to 54 yards. That's pretty much a win for us. Receiving, Dez, he's amazing. We need to figure out how to get him the ball more. DeMarco Murray caught a couple of the backfield. Devin Harris, we got to spread the ball more. Not enough people catching the passes from the Cowboys. So we've been working on that. So that was a big win, taking on the 49ers. Then Titans, we came out. There was tons of turnovers in that one that saved us and gave us 42-14. So that felt pretty good. Thought things were moving in the right direction. Then we went to the St. Louis Rams, and they gave it to us 20-14. It was a tough loss. We fought back, tied it up almost 17-14 at half. Felt good going in. Just couldn't get anything going in the second half. They shut us down. We shut them down. 0-0 all the way through, and they got a field goal in the third to kind of extend the lead. Player stats here. Romo threw 1 interception. I'm always happy when I throw more touchdowns than interceptions because sometimes I get a little off there. Again, rushing. Murray couldn't get off the ground. 13 carries for 50 yards, and then Zach Stacy really lit us up. Man, we pride ourselves in stopping the run, and we've really struggled lately. And then that game was tough. And then we played the Saints, and always a tough battle. We'd go back and forth. There was a late fumble in this, and in the fourth, we thought we had the ball, going to take a chance to win the game, but guys couldn't fall on the ball and couldn't make the big play when we needed to. The big thing here, we had 3 turnovers that killed us. The Saints had 1. That's pretty much the story of the game. And again, great defense. Player stats: Romo had a rough game, 3 INTs, 1 TD. Not going to win many. Drew Brees was pretty amazing. We only held him to 66 yards, which usually that's a win. But if you look at the rushing game, we got crushed. Niles Davis, this guy is lighting up the league. He got traded from the Chiefs. It's like everybody's trying to kill the NFC East with running backs because we got Niles Davis here. And if you haven't seen yet, there's a huge trade that we'll talk about here in a minute for the Giants. Totally going to change the NFC East. We got some amazing running backs: Niles Davis, Murray, and now we'll see in a minute who the Giants picked up, which is, I was shocked when I saw it on the Facebook forums. And then receiving, DeMarco Murray was actually our leading receiver for 28 yards. We were just checking down. He ran a lot of cover 3 in this game, so there wasn't a lot deep. He was taking away things. Really good defense. Luckily, I was disciplined to throw it down, but I still got burned. Des Bryant, another 100-yard game. He's done pretty good for us. So let's kind of look at some stats from the NFC East. We've seen how everybody's done. Giants are definitely the team to beat. They beat the Redskins. See how it turns out. We're going to look at the actual league stats. And we're going to focus on the NFC East and note that the Eagles and Redskins have only played 4 games, and we've played 5 games with the Redskins. But Brandon Whedon came in, and he's rated 134. I don't know how that is. He didn't have a very good game. He's 3 for 6 at 50%. So it's very limited. RG3 is definitely the best quarterback we have in the NFC East right now. Throwed for 1,000 yards, 9 TDs, only 3 interceptions, so he's careful with the ball. Eli Manning at 107. Again, Brian is an amazing passer, and he can put up 200 yards rushing in a game too, so he's like really difficult to defend. Eli's thrown 7 picks, quite a bit. Him and his buddy Romo will probably have a pick-off challenge, so you can throw the most picks this season. Surprisingly, the Eagles' Nick Foles down here at 868 yards and 9 interceptions and 3 TD passes. He's really been struggling. I don't know. I haven't watched many games, so I got to get on my scouting and see what's up with the Eagles. Maybe find something that's working against them, help me out, because I always struggle against the Eagles, Redskins, and Giants. Rushing leader, Sean McCoy. He's played 1 less game than everybody else, and he's still leading rusher, him and Andre Ellington. Murray's there, but he's played 1 more game, so he really is not doing that live. Look at the average rushing per game. That really tells the story. LaShawn McCoy, 93.1. Andre Ellington. Murray's at 70 yards. Arian Foster, yeah, that's the big news right there. This guy was traded to the Giants this week from the Texans. It's going to be a major shakeup in the NFC East. We got 4 great running backs here. Got to stop the run in the NFC East, or you're not going to have a good season. Foster's yards per carry is probably going to go way up. I'm assuming next video next week we'll probably be talking about Foster leading the league. Receiving, Victor Cruz, surprise, surprise, has caught the most passes. Again, Ryan's an amazing passer. You got Beckham Jr. is the 3rd leading receiver. A little misleading because the Cowboys and Giants have already played their 5th game. So it's a little misleading, but we'll keep track, see how it's going. Look at some defense. Leading tackler, of course, they're all going to be Giants and Cowboys because we've played 1 extra game than everybody else, so really misleading. Let's look at sacks. Henry Melton's got 3, which is good for us. Trent Cole's got 3. Fletcher, so that's back-to-back Eagles. And then another Eagle, Thornton. You're going to play the Eagles, you better get rid of the ball because they got pressure from the left, the right, and then their linebackers as well. And then John Beeson here.